The perseverance with Ruben Amarim has reached a point of absolute futility. It feels like an exercise in design disappointment, a commitment to a path that visibly leads nowhere. Every single time there's a flicker of progress, a minor adjustment that hints at functionality, it is systematically undone by the manager's own decisions. The pattern is not just frustrating, it feels intentional in its self-destruction. This is a man who consistently finds a way to sabotage any positive momentum, creating problems where none needed to exist. His approach to player management is fundamentally broken. Throwing individuals under the bus has become a staple of his tenure. First, it was one player. Now, it's another. The treatment of certain individuals is baffling. Take the decision to play a player like Aiden Heaven, someone accustomed to the left, as a central centre-back for the first time in months. And from the start, when other dedicated, fit options were available on the bench. What does that achieve? It destabilises the defence and destroys the confidence of the players overlooked. It sends a message of chaotic desperation, not strategic thinking. The player who came on later actually performed decently, making good challenges, but his morale must be in tatters. This goes beyond poor selection. It feels like active sabotage. The growing suspicion is that these decisions are so consistently illogical that they cannot merely be the product of incompetence. The mind struggles to comprehend how an individual capable of such profound tactical idiocy could ever have navigated his way to the helm of a club like Manchester United. The sheer scale of the basic errors defies belief. The most galling aspect is the simplicity of the mistakes. Take the recent match. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, the team displayed prolonged possession in the opponent's half. This was largely because a forward, Xerxes, was intelligently dropping into pockets of space, linking midfield and attack, moving left and right to provide a passing outlet. He was the glue, helping United retain possession higher up the pitch, a fundamental weakness of this side. It was a clear working tactic. The response, to remove both him and another forward, replacing them with players who offered zero attacking presence. The substitution left the team with no focal point, no outlet. One of the removed players had just had a shot cleared off the line and was actively dictating play. If you must take one off, you leave the other on. Instead, we were left with strikers who cannot function as a back-to-goal outlet, killing the very rhythm that was being established. It was a decision of stunning pointlessness. The midfield structure remains a diabolical mess. The idea of a double pivot is a fantasy. Consistently, one of the central midfielders is found vacating his position at the first opportunity, leaving a cavernous gap between the lines. It's embarrassing. People criticise the previous manager for a certain defensive shape, but this is the same issue under a different name. The number 10 is perpetually absent, often seen drifting to the right wing to spam ineffective crosses instead of occupying the central spaces he is meant to control. You are a central midfielder. Play like one. This lack of discipline makes the team's defensive structure inherently fragile. This fragility is highlighted further when contrasted with an opponent's organisation. The recent match saw an opposition defender put in a phenomenal, possessed performance. He defended his entire defensive third single-handedly, making last-ditch clearances and crucial tackles. It was the performance of a man playing with immense personal stake, a display of pure defensive will. He played like a man with something vital to protect. Meanwhile, one simple pass was enough to cut through United's midfield. The disparity in organisation was painful to watch. Young players are thrown into this chaos, experiencing a baptism of fire, not due to the intensity of the league, but due to the tactical negligence of their own manager. The consequences are clear in the results. This was another 2 points dropped at home, a pattern that has become sickeningly familiar. It mirrors other games, taking a lead, facing minimal threat from the opponent, the goalkeeper largely untested, yet somehow failing to win. The inability to see out games or kill them off is a hallmark of poor coaching. Losing to a 10-man team at home, failing to beat lesser sides. It's inexcusable. If anyone believes this manager deserves to remain in his job at this stage, they cannot be a genuine supporter. The evidence is overwhelming. The team has one game a week, ample time on the training ground to prepare and instill patterns. The manager himself pleaded for more training time. He has been given all the time in the world, and yet the team look. All the social media clips of camaraderie, of unity, of players socialising mean nothing when the basic shape on the pitch is non-existent. The defensive chaos is a particular disgrace. You see centre-backs man-marking wingers in the final third, leaving enormous gaps in the heart of the defence. You see the supposed central midfielder pressing opposition centre-backs, becoming the highest man in the press. It is a shambolic, incoherent system. The revelation that members of his coaching staff might not possess proper badges would, in this context, explain a great deal. It feels like the club and the fans are being taken for a ride. The new ownership must take decisive action. They should look at what was done at another club they own and intervene directly. This cannot continue for an entire season. So, if there is hesitation about appointing a permanent manager mid-season, then appoint an interim. An interim manager could not possibly do worse. A competent caretaker, someone who understands the basics of organisation, could secure a higher league finish with this squad. As it stands, Champions League football is a fantasy. The stated target is a cruel joke. This team, under this guidance, will not finish in the top 6. A change to a sensible, organised interim could at least secure European football. The current path leads only to further embarrassment. Post-match, the cycle continues. The manager will likely emerge to gaslight the public, blaming the players once more. He will point to their performances for their national teams as proof of their quality. Of course, they play differently internationally. They operate within a coherent system. They are not asked to perform suicidal tactical roles, like a centre-back sprinting 50 yards to press a player near the halfway line. What is the tactical point of that? It is chaos, dressed up as intensity. The problem is not the players. It is the man asking them to perform impossible, illogical tasks. He is an absolute fraud, a disgrace to the title of coach at this level. The clue is in the word coach. After over a year in charge, this team bears no discernible imprint of his supposed philosophy, aside from a universally disliked and ineffective system of play. The football is poor, the results are worse, and the persistence with it is baffling. Other clubs act decisively. The fact that United have not, even after humiliating losses, suggests a deep-seated institutional problem. There have been more than enough red flags. The financial cost of sacking him is negligible compared to the cost of missing out on European football or further damaging the club's stature. In fact, sacking this manager could be the most impactful January signing possible. With one game a week and this squad, a competent manager could still challenge for the top 4 or 5. That is all that is required. Basic competence. Whatever excuses are offered now will inevitably backfire, as they always do. This feels like a defining moment for the new regime. Are they a serious ownership, or will they tolerate a loser's mentality? Supporting this club, right now, feels like supporting a loser club. That feeling will persist until decisive action is taken. The patience has run out. The time for action is now.